This is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these very simple and beautiful little Christmas ornaments. And I made these with images that I purchased from a lady on Etsy by the name of Creative Belle, and it's spelled Creatifbelle. And these were $2.80 per image, and I was able to download them right then and there after I purchased them, and I can use them for any project, and I can make these into any size. Now you can use photo paper from the Dollar Tree. They have some there. However, you can also do what I did, and I purchased this instant dry photo paper, premium photo paper from Walgreens right here, and there's 25 sheets, and I paid about $14 for these, but these are really awesome because, like it says, instant dry, and so that was really nice. And I'll show you at the very end of this video how to print these out on your computer. You don't need any kind of special program or anything like that. And even though I say goodbye at the end of the video, don't turn the video off, because right after that I'll show you exactly what to do. Okay? And there's a lot of wonderful images on Etsy. I can't tell you how many vintage ones I've purchased. So with that said, we'll go ahead and I'll show you how to make these, and they're super simple and they don't require a lot of work, and I hope you enjoy this. So hold on and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need to cut out a pattern on a piece of sturdy cardboard, okay? And you're going to cut this pattern out to be 4 inches in height and 3 1/4 inches in width, okay? Then you're going to cut out a piece of cardstock in the color of your choice, okay, with the same measurements. And then you're going to cut out a piece of the glittered vinyl, same measurements. If you don't have glittered vinyl, don't worry about it. You can use glittered cardstock, and make sure it's the chunky type, because that's what's really going to give it that sparkle. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to put all of this together first off. Okay? So, I'm going to put them all together. And I think I'll start by gluing this onto the cardboard. I really like to focus on the edges right here. To me, that's the most important, because you don't want any corners that are going to lift up. And then I'm just going to kind of dot it here and there in the middle, like that. Okay. So pick this up and place this right here. Make sure it's nice and even. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this cardboard, because I'm going to be placing this on here. Okay? So we're going to start with the edges. Love this Fabri-Tac glue. I highly recommend it. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of go here and there in the middle. All right. Press this on here. Just like that. Okay. Now once you have this together, we're just going to allow this to dry, and I think I'm going to give it at least a couple of hours and then come back and see what I think. And don't worry if you have little tiny pieces that may need some trimming here and there. You can do that, but for now we're just going to allow this to dry, and then I'll be back and we'll put this together. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of lace, okay, lace fabric. And you're going to want to purchase the lace where there's quite a bit of openings, because you'll need those openings to see the glitter sparkle. If you don't have those openings, it'll cover it up. So it's important that you do that. And if you don't have any lace, you can usually find some at Walmart. And if they don't carry it at Walmart in your area, you can look in the thrift stores. And I've even purchased blouses, tablecloths, curtains, anything with a pretty lace design where there's a lot of wide openings on it. Okay, so that just gives you a few ideas. All right, so I'm just going to start by kind of dotting around the very edges, because you don't want the lace to oh gosh, what am I trying to say? You don't want the lace to roll up. Oh my goodness, Lori. Get my thoughts in gear. I'm just going to kind of dot it here and there. Not a whole lot, just here and there. Alright. I'm just going to put this on just like that. Gonna gently tap it, especially around the edges. Okay. All right. So we're going to allow this to totally dry, just like that, okay? And when it's completely dried, we'll flip it over like that and cut it with scissors. But we want to make sure all of this is 100% dried first. So we'll be back. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do after this dries is just kind of, take your finger and go around the edges and make sure that all of the edges here are glued down, okay? And if they're not, just lift this up and go in with your glue and just give it a little bit of glue and tap it and allow it to dry. Okay, so you want all that finished, and you're going to take your long blade scissors and you're going to cut right along the edges here, okay? Just like this. And you noticed I turned this upside down, or I should say on the back here, to do the cutting. It just makes it easier. Okay, and then I'll cut this too. Alright. So it looks nice and neat. And if you see a little bit here or there, you want to get in there and with your little detail scissors, you can do that. I got these at the Dollar Tree. Okay. So I think it looks really nice. Alright. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue the picture in the middle. Now, I'm going to use this one right here, this image. Now I have to tell you though, after I printed this out and allowed it to dry, I gave it a spray of Aquanet hairspray, the Ultra Hold hairspray, and I got a big can of it at the not the Dollar Tree. I got a big can of it at Walmart for $1.97. And let me show it to you. Hold on. Okay, so it comes in a big can like this, and it's just the cheap stuff. It's in extra super hold. Okay. And the reason why I sprayed it on here is because it helps, you know, the ink not to, you know, rub off or do any of that. And I allowed it to dry for quite a while before I actually picked it up. Okay. And that's why these are curling a little bit, the images. But that's okay because we're going to glue them on flat, so that won't matter. Okay. All right, and I did hold the hairspray about 12 inches away. Okay, and I just did a quick spray. I didn't soak it. All right, so we're going to get some more of this Fabri-Tac. Place the image on here. And once again, my main concern is going to be the edges, the very edges. You don't want that pulling up. Okay. And then just a little bit here and there in the middle. Just enough to tack it down. Okay. Now I will tell you, you end up with a lot better perspective if you stand up and you look down, because you want to make sure that it's even. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm standing up where my chair is. And you can just see it so much better as far as exactly where you need to place the image, or if you need to scooch it over a little bit to the left or to the right or up or down, you know. Then once you think you have it, then you can press down like so. Okay. All right. Now let me have a seat, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay? Like that. Now, if you need to, go back in and put a little bit of glue in there, you can. Be careful not to get it on the image, though, because that's just not very good. Okay. Press this down. All right, now I'm not too worried about the edges. Okay, and the reason why is because we're going to be going around with these pearls like that and gluing those down. And of course I'll show you how I did that, but I want this to dry a little bit. Okay. All right, so I'm going to allow this to dry before I pick it up, and then we'll do the rest. Okay, so it comes in a big can like this, and it's just the cheap stuff. It's in extra super hold. Okay. And the reason why I sprayed it on here is because it helps, you know, the ink not to, you know, rub off or do any of that. And I allowed it to dry for quite a while before I actually picked it up. Okay. And that's why these are curling a little bit, the images. But that's okay because we're going to glue them on flat, so that won't matter. Okay. All right, and I did hold the hairspray about 12 inches away. Okay, and I just did a quick spray. I didn't soak it. All right, so we're going to get some more of this Fabri-Tac. Place the image on here. And once again, my main concern is going to be the edges, the very edges. You don't want that pulling up. Okay. And then just a A little bit here and there in the middle. Just enough to tack it down. Okay. Now I will tell you, you end up with a lot better perspective if you stand up and you look down, because you want to make sure that it's even. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm standing up where my chair is. And you can just see it so much better as far as exactly where you need to place the image, or if you need to scooch it over a little bit to the left or to the right or up or down, you know. Then once you think you have it, then you can press down like so. Okay, all right. Now let me have a seat and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, like that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be using these little adhesive rhinestones, and I found these in a real long sheet at the 99-cent store, and these are a light pink color. These are about 4 millimeter wide, so they're smaller than the ones that you would purchase from the Dollar Tree. These are closer to a 6 millimeter. Okay, now you can use this. I think it would be perfectly fine if that's all you had, but I prefer the smaller ones just to make it look a little more delicate. So in each corner here, oops, fell right off there. Okay. I like to take 3 of these, and I like to put one right here in the very corner of the picture, and then I like to take 2 and put it below that, so it kind of looks like a rectangle. Like, I'll show you, like that. Okay, and to me it just looks like a little rosette if you use your imagination. But yeah, it's pretty on there and it looks delicate, and that's what I was going for. So I'm going to do the same thing on all 4 corners. Like that. Okay. And I'll do the same thing down here. I've gone through so many of these little sparkly rhinestones here from the 99-cent store. I think they're just so pretty and they look so delicate on a lot of different things. And you get a lot in the package too. Okay, and then one here, and then right here. Make sure that's under there. Okay, and then so here we go. We've finished that part. Now, I love these pearls that I purchased from Walmart. And you get 4 yards, and these are 4 millimeters. I love these pearls because they're shiny, and they look, to me, they look more like real pearls. Well, not genuine pearls, but more real than these, which are a 2 millimeter. And if I put them side by side, you can see that the larger one has a shine to it. You know? Anyway, I think they're very pretty. When I go back to Walmart, I'm going to pick up some more. I've noticed that in the section where they have their little rolls of trims, that they're coming out with prettier and prettier things, at least in this area. Now, I believe I paid something like $3.97 for this roll. And it does give you 4 yards, so it gives you a pretty good amount. Alright, I'm not going to put this around here. I had thought about it originally, putting it around the picture and then here, but then I thought, well, if I do that, it's going to cut out a lot of the border where there's a lot of glitter. And so I just didn't want to do that. I wanted the glitter to show up. And I still think this looks really pretty, just with these little rosette things. So I'm going to put it here instead. Now, I kind of like to measure everything first and make sure that I cut the right amount. So I'm going to cut it right here. Okay. I'm going to come in here with my tacky glue and get this right here along the edge. I'm going to make a somewhat of a thin line. I'm going to put it all the way around. Okay, I'm just going to start on this side first. And just going to set this down like so. Make sure you have it where you want it. And then just gently tap it down. It's going to take a while to dry, and even when it feels dry and it has some movement to it, let it sit overnight because it really makes a difference. When I allowed this to sit overnight, this was really rock hard on here and there wasn't any play. Okay, and you want to pick up your work and make sure that it's nice and straight, that the pearls aren't, you know, bending this way or bending that way. That'll really make a difference in on your picture. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this side here. So once again, I'm going to measure this, about how long I'll need this. And I'm going to cut this off 1 pearl short because I want to be able to fit the pearls all the way down here. So I'm going to cut this off 1 pearl short. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Right here along the edge. I might have to do that again. When this glue comes out, it's kind of rubbery at first, like that. See? It rolls off your hands nicely, but okay. And then we're going to set this on here. Now I'm not going to bore you to death and make you watch me do the rest all the way around. I'll do that off camera and then I'll be back. But like I said, each time you put this string of pearls on, you know, hold this upright and make sure that everything is nice and straight. That will make all the difference in the world when it comes to your project looking really nice or really cheesy. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing here. And that's why I cut it 1 pearl short so I could go around like this. Okay. And I'll do these 2 sides off camera. And I'm going to allow this to dry overnight. And then I'll be back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue on 2 little bales. Now to find these, you can go on eBay or Etsy and just type in the words glue on bales. Now don't forget to type in the word glue on, otherwise you will get some bales that'll pop up, but you won't get all of them. So just type in the words glue on bale in the search bar. And you can also find these on Amazon as well. and these are medium bales, okay? They have them in small, medium, and large, but the ones you want are called medium bales, okay? All right, so what I did was I turned this over, and I lined everything up with the lines here on my mat to find the middle, and with my little mechanical pencil I put a dot at the top and the bottom, okay? And so now I'm going to take a little bit of E6000, and you don't have to put a lot, and you're just going to place it right there where the pencil mark was, or is. Okay, now you can see a little bit of that glue kind of leaking out there. You can always take a toothpick and very carefully do this. Wipe that off. Okay, just like that. And allow this to dry thoroughly before you start messing with things, you know. Okay, so I'm just going to allow that to dry, and of course I'm going to do the top. Look how much came out. Okay. I don't like working with E6000 because it's messy, but at the same time it really has a tight bond, and so that's why I use it. I'm so sorry about this. I lost the footage as to what I was going to do next, but what I did was I slipped this pink seam binding through this little bail right here, glue-on bail, and then I took some more pink seam binding and just tied it in a bow, and I glued it on with this Fabri-Tac, and then I took a little tiny rhinestone and glued that on with the Fabri-Tac as well. And at the very top here, I put a little rhinestone right up here at the top of the tree. I thought that was really pretty. So at the bottom here, I put a little 5 or 6 millimeter jump ring right here, and I'm going to attach a little charm. It won't be this charm though. This is the little button charm that I showed you how to make in my last video. It'll be something a little different. I made this little filigree connector charm. We're going to hook right here at the bottom with this little 8 millimeter jump ring. I had to think. And I purchased a bunch of these from a lady who owns a shop on Etsy by the name of Baubles of Fun. And she's been on Etsy for a very long time. And I just took the Fabri-Tac right here and glued this little resin flower on in the middle, and then also a little pink rhinestone from the Dollar Tree at the top and the bottom. I just thought, you know, that turned out really pretty. So I'll go ahead and show you what I did here. I just took the little jump ring and hooked it at the top like that, and then I hooked it right here, and then I'm going to close this. Okay, Now look how easy that was. Didn't that turn out pretty? I just love this. You could, if you wanted to, put a little piece of cardstock right here. Just glue it around the edge here and just slip in a gift card. You can do something like that. You can also turn these into beautiful little Christmas tree ornaments. That would be very nice too. So let me lift this camera up just a little bit. Yeah. And I really hope you make some of these, and you don't even have to make them in the shabby chic way. You can use anything you'd like, any type of print you like. I just happen to use these, and like I said, I hope you enjoyed it today, and God bless each and every one of you, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Okay, so here's the image that I purchased, and as you can see right up here in the left-hand corner, there's a word right here that says print. I'm going to click on that, and then click on print. Okay, now this automatically opens up as a full-page image. But if you scroll down here to the left, it gives you an option of 4x6, 5x7, 8x10, 3.5x5, etc. Well, I'm going to click on the one that says wallet, 9. Okay, that means you can get up to 9 prints on this page. Now, I want more than one. So right down here where it says copies of each picture, I am going to click on 9. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it'll pop up. All right. Now there's a little box here that says fit picture to frame. Now if I unclick that, it gives you more spaces in between to cut, which I like. So I'm going to leave this box empty. Okay. Now if you want it close together, you can always click the box and a little check mark will appear, but I'm doing the opposite. I'm leaving it blank. Okay. And then you're going to look up here where it says paper type, and it gives you options for the paper types that you're going to be printing on, and if you want normal quality, draft quality, best quality. Now they have at the very bottom here something that says photo paper best quality. You can certainly click on that, but I used specialty paper best quality, and I printed it out on photo paper. It works for me, and I don't think it uses up quite so much ink, so that's what I did there. And then I just clicked print down here at the bottom, and that was all there was to it. So I hope this helped you a little bit today.